Okay, hello everyone. I think this time there will be no problem. Okay, so tonight we're going to have our online lessons, okay, for Unit 10.1. I hope you can have your textbook, okay, you can have your textbook, Unit 10, and your school atlas, okay, or if you have your computer, I think it would be all right. It is because later I will post some link and also I will use like Google Earth, okay, to show you some countries, some information, okay. First, today for this online lesson, I may tell you that I don't have any e-textbook. So therefore, this time you won't see the textbook screen right here. And I'll use the notes here, okay, for writing some information. So therefore, you may also have your notebook for taking some notes. Okay, so let's start for the lesson today. Okay, we're going to start Unit 10.1. Okay, 10.1. Uh, 10.1. For 10.1, you will see the topic that would be like what, okay, what, and where, where. That's it. And for this topic, we're going to focus on like what and where is that's it. And I think when we talk about like the topic of drought, I hope you still remember. I have already explain and mention like what should be the definition of that's it. Every time I ask the student like what is that's it? They may answer like there should be a lot of sand. I hope you remember I've mentioned this in the lesson. But if we talk about like the like what should be that's it? The definition definition of that's it. Okay, so for the first part, that is like what is that's it? When we want to define like what is that's it, we should use the annual rainfall. Okay, annual rainfall as a requirement. Okay, for us to define like what is that's it. We won't use like the texture of the rocks. We won't use the surface material. Okay, as the only requirement, okay, for us to define like what would be the landscape there. So therefore, for that's it, okay, we use annual rainfall. I hope you still remember what is that's it. That is like when the annual rainfall that is lower than 250 mm, okay, then for that kind of place, we may call it desert. We may call it desert. So therefore, is I always mention, is Hong Kong like a desert, Of course, no. Okay, Hong Kong is not a desert. It is because the annual rainfall or in Hong Kong that is much higher. Okay, that is much higher. Sometimes that is even higher than like 2,000 mm. Then Hong Kong is not a desert. And for some places with the annual rainfall less than 250 mm, that's it. Okay, so therefore, like what should be the characteristics? Okay, some characteristics of that's it. Uh, you may you may mention like the first one as the annual rainfall that is very low. Therefore, for desert, it must be very dry. Okay, it must be very dry throughout the whole year. And I would say sometimes there can be no rainfall for a very long period in that set. So therefore, in the future, if you have chance to experience or if you have chance to see any rainfall in a desert, I would say that could be you will be very lucky. It is because sometimes in throughout the whole year there could be just few days that could be with rainfall, and the rainfall that would be very little. Okay, so that's why the first one we would say it would be very dry, or if you use the word in your textbook, okay, we would say most desert we would call it that would be like with a barren barren land surface. Okay, barren land. Okay, and plant with little plant cover. So you won't see much trees, much vegetation cover in the desert. Okay, just a very small cover of like the shrubs or sometimes like the cactus, or especially in the area of oasis. Okay, oasis. I hope you know like what is oasis. Oasis in Chinese like 绿洲啦. So why we call this like in Chinese 绿洲? Sometimes we may know that that could be really, is it really like green? Okay, of course green represent that would be like the vegetation. So oasis, it means that there could be some water supply in that place, and those water supply that is mainly from groundwater. Okay, from groundwater. So therefore, with the groundwater, some plant, okay, could be grown. Then for that place, compared to other area, okay, it could be like more green. That's why we call it like oasis in Chinese, 绿洲啦. So therefore, that would be about some basic characteristics of that set. And then right now, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Like where should be the desert? Okay, where should be the desert? Okay, so you may refer to your textbook on page 5. Okay, this time I don't have the e-textbook, so therefore I'll use these notes. And if you have your textbook, okay, highlight some parts. So for like where are the desert? I would say for desert we can divide the type of desert mainly into two types. Okay, the first type that is what we call like tropical desert. Tropical desert. For tropical desert, okay, for tropical desert, that is the desert located between, okay, located between. Okay, this one, please mark it very important. Between Tropic of Cancer. Okay, Tropic of Cancer. It means for the latitude, Tropic of Cancer, that would be 23.5 degree north. 23.5 degree north. Okay, and then between Tropic of Cancer and also Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, Tropic of Capricorn. The latitude that would be the 23.5 degree south. Tropic of Cancer. In Chinese, like 北迴歸線. Tropic of Capricorn 南迴歸線. So therefore, if we draw, okay, if we draw a very simple Earth, okay. So I think, or I hope you understand that there could be like a perfect circle, okay. So this is the Earth, okay. This is the Earth. This is the Earth. So for the middle part, okay, with the longest latitude here, so I would say that could be like the equator. Equator. So the latitude of equator, that would be 0 degree. 0 degree. Then Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree. North. And then Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south. So therefore, where would be most desert could be found? I mean the tropical desert. That is the area between this that locate here. So if there's any desert, we may regard this as like tropical desert. So therefore, that would be the first type. Then what would be the characteristic of tropical desert? Okay, for tropical desert, so the characteristic of tropical desert, that could be like the first one, very important, that would be hot all year. For the whole year, that would be very hot. That would be very hot. Sometimes you may hear in desert at night it could be a little bit cold, but I will say it, for tropical desert, even at night the temperature, it could be still high. Okay, I will show you some example later. I will show you some example later. So one of the tropical desert, okay, so one of the tropical desert, so we should know that the first one, that would be the largest desert in the world. Okay, Sahara Desert. Okay, Sahara Desert in Africa. In Africa, Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert. Okay, so right now let's have a look about the map. Okay, let's have a look about the map. Okay, right now I use the Google map here. Okay, I use the Google map here, and you will see Asia. You will see Asia. Okay, here Asia and Africa. Africa there, Africa. Okay, so therefore, if you look at like Africa, okay, I move a little bit. Africa here. Okay, if you look at like Africa, okay, here for this part in the north of Africa, so this is Sahara Desert. That is the largest desert in the world. Okay, you will see the latitude. Okay, so that would be difficult for me to point. So the latitude, that would be at the same level, same level. So that is what we call like the Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so for that latitude, and then in the Arabia here, Arabia, so that would be what we call the Arabian Desert. Arabian Desert. And then if we move to east, okay, we go back to the east, like for that point, okay, over my head here, so that could be like the southern China, for Hong Kong. So you won't see any desert. You won't see any desert. Why there will be no deserts like in Hong Kong? I always mention it is because in Hong Kong we would be under the influence of monsoon. So that could be lot of moisture, okay, lots of rainfall in the summertime. That's why. That's why. So the plant, oh no, no. That's why if the annual rainfall that would be high enough, there will be no desert. So therefore, okay. So one example, okay, Sahara Desert. So that is the tropical desert. Okay, tropical desert. And then if we move to a little bit southern hemisphere, okay, right there. So you can see Australia. So a large piece of Australia, okay. So you should know that it is also like a desert, and the name of the desert, uh, Great Australian Desert, okay, Great Australian Desert. Uh, Highlight this in your textbook, Great Australian Desert. This is also a tropical desert. It is because it lied exactly along the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, so therefore, Great Australian Desert, it is also a tropical desert. So that would be the first type of desert. Then the second type of desert. Okay, we call it temperate desert. The second type. Temperate desert. Temperate desert, okay, just like from the name of it, uh, temperate desert will be found in the temperate area. Temperate desert or temperate area, we call it 溫帶啦，溫帶荒漠，溫帶地區. And most temperate desert that would locate at around like 40 degree north or 40 degrees south. 40 degree north or 40 degrees south. And what we call or what we describe this, that is at a relatively higher, so that would be compared to tropical desert, higher latitude. Okay, higher latitude. So what should be the characteristic of temperate desert then? Right, temperate desert then. For tropical desert, just now we've mentioned, it's hot all year. Okay, but temperate desert, that is slightly different. That would be hot in summer. That would be very hot in summer. Okay, but in temperate desert, there should be winter. It could be like winter, and most important, winter is cold in temperate desert. So that would be about like the temperature. So right now, let's have a look. Where would be the temperate desert first? Right, not this one. Okay, just now we talk about like Australia. Okay, we go back to Africa and Asia. Africa and Asia here. Okay, so you can see Arabian Desert and also Sahara Desert. And for temperate desert, you may look a little bit north. Okay, so in mainland China for this, you can see from the satellite image. Okay, so you won't see much vegetation cover here. So therefore, in the northern part of China, for that part, this is the temperate desert. So one of the famous temperate desert, like in Asia or like in China, I hope you know that, like Gobi Desert, 戈壁沙漠啦，戈壁沙漠. Okay, so this is the temperate desert, and I think in the future, if you have chance like to go back to travel in mainland China to visit the province like Xinjiang, okay, Xinjiang, you will certainly have chance to visit some desert. For example, like Gobi Desert, or it could be like the one Taklamakan Desert, Taklamakan 沙漠啦. So one of the most famous desert in mainland China. Okay, right now, I'm going to show you what could be the temperature difference between like tropical desert and temperate desert. So I will show you the information in Dubai first. Okay, Dubai. Dubai lah. Okay, where is Dubai? So from the map, okay, Dubai, that would be in the Middle East at about this point in the tropical desert, okay, at about this point. So what would be the climate characteristic of Dubai? Okay, you may have a look, okay, maybe that would be a little bit small for you, so therefore I think I have to zoom. Okay, so okay, zoom in some numbers for you. Okay, here that would be the here that would be about the temperature in different months in Dubai. So let's have a look. Let's have a look about the about July 1st. That would be like the summer in the northern hemisphere. So you can see the average high temperature in Dubai. So that would be like 40.9 degrees Celsius. Okay, so I don't think we have experienced like 40 degrees Celsius like in Hong Kong, but that would be the average height. And you can see that throughout the whole year. Okay, so the temperature in this city, this is also high. Then let's have a look. Let's have a look about the average load temperature in this place. In July 1st, this is about like 30 degrees Celsius. So for me, I would say that could be like the relatively low temperature at night. Okay, so therefore 30 degrees Celsius. But in January, 14.3 degrees Celsius. Sometimes you may think you may feel it could be a little bit cool or cold, but for me, I would say that is not exactly cold. Okay, you may just talk about it like cool. So therefore, you can see from this data, so Dubai actually it is hot throughout the year, hot throughout the year, and you can see that okay, that could be like the year average. Okay, this is also high. But right now I'm going to show you one city in the temperate region in mainland China in Xinjiang. So Urumqi, 烏魯木齊啦. So I always mention this city. Okay, so this city actually that located in the desert, in the temperate desert. So let's have a look about in summer first. So the average temperature in Urumqi in summer, average height that could be as high as 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, and the average low, 18.2 degrees Celsius. So therefore, I would say that it's like the summer, like in Hong Kong, 30 something degrees Celsius. Sometimes it could be as high as like 40. Okay, so that could be hot in summer. But if you look at the low temperature in this city, the average high that would be negative 7.4 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that would be the average high temperature. Okay, so negative 7.4, and the average low it could be negative 16. Okay, negative 16 degrees Celsius. So therefore, for the winter there, that would be extremely cool. So therefore, from this number, you can see that. So for the case in temperate desert, okay. So remember, summer it will be hot, and winter it could be very very cold. So that's why for one region like in mainland China, in Xinjiang, or in the region like the Silk Road, 丝綢之路啦. So people they would like to visit like Urumqi. Most people they would do that in summer. No one would do that in winter. It is because in the interior part of China, in Xinjiang, it could be extremely, extremely cold. Okay, don't discuss my leaves. It is because just related to my background. This is not my related to my body. Okay, so thank you for your care. Okay, so let's go back here, and then next after we talk about where would be the that's it, and then now we're going to talk about some basic characteristics. So we go back to the characteristics, okay, so of the desert. Okay, so on page 6, so we go back to characteristics. Okay, so first, for the characteristic of desert, we mentioned the climate. Okay, so when we talk about like climate, we talk about the rainfall. Okay, for rainfall, that is, there will be two words. Okay, when we mention the rainfall in desert, one, scare, scare. It means very, very low. Okay, low rainfall. And then the second one, unreliable. It means that actually we don't really, or it would be quite difficult, okay, to predict or to know when would be the rainfall in the desert. That's why we would call it unreliable. For the desert, for the rainfall in desert, just two characteristics. Scarce, it means very little, and unreliable. Unreliable. We don't know when would be the rainfall. Okay, so the second one, for the second one, okay, for the second one. So this one, please mark a star for that one in your textbook. Okay, for the characteristic in um, uh, so that is my bet. Number one, we talk about climate, and then A should be rainfall, and then the second one, B, B. This one, mark a star, mark a star. We talk about the daily range of temperature. We talk about the daily range of temperature. Daily range of temperature in Chinese we call it 日温差. I hope you still remember before we study the annual range of temperature 年温差. Then this time we talk about daily range of temperature 日温差. So what is like the daily range of temperature? That is the mean daily maximum temperature, okay, minus the mean daily minimum temperature. That is what we call the mean daily range of temperature. So that would be very easy to calculate. For example, if the mean daily maximum temperature, that could be like, for example, like Hong Kong, okay, like today, that is around like 30 degrees Celsius, okay, during the daytime, afternoon, okay, and then so the mean daily minimum temperature, like in Hong Kong recently, I think that could be at around like 20 degrees Celsius. It could be like 20 degrees Celsius. So therefore, the mean daily range of temperature, okay, that would be like 10 degrees Celsius. So that would be that simple for the calculation. So for the daily range of temperature in desert. So how do we describe it? We would use this word. This is always large. Large daily range of temperature. Large daily range of temperature. So why that could be a large daily range of temperature? It is because you may mark this first. This is especially in the temperate desert. That is especially true in the temperate desert. Okay, so it could be very hot. It could be very hot in daytime, but it could be cold at night. at night. Okay, so what could be the difference? So let me tell you one of my traveling experience. So few no 10 years ago, I think 10 years ago. So I have visited Xinjiang in mainland China. So if I remember correct, so that would be the city near Urumqi, near Urumqi. I remember at the daytime, so the temperature, it could be as high as 40 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius. And then, night, I think the temperature, it could be as low as like 19 degrees Celsius. So therefore, one of my experience in Xinjiang, I think that could be a little bit interesting. That is, the first time I visit or the first time I arrived Xinjiang, I remember that is at about in the morning. In the morning, it's about like 7 o'clock, something like that. So for the tour I joined, so we had to go to a scenic spot, okay, like for a building, something like this. As just now I've mentioned that is too early. It's about like 7 o'clock. So when I arrived to scenic spot, I realized that that could be something very very strange for me. That could be like what most people at that place, I can see they are sleeping. They slept actually on the street. Okay, they won't sleep indoor. Most of them, they sleep outdoor. So why do they sleep outdoor? It is because at night, okay, so the temperature in that place, it could drop it could drop rapidly. Therefore, it could be quite cool outside. That's why those people they would like to sleep at night. Then actually they don't need air conditioning. Okay, so that would be quite comfortable. Okay, to sleep outside. But during daytime, okay, for 40 degrees Celsius, okay, most people actually they need to stay indoor, okay, as no one would go outdoor as the temperature it could be very very high. So therefore, that would be about some experience about the daily range of temperature. Okay, and then here, okay, so for the last part for that point, so why why the daily range of temperature, okay, that would be the daily range of temperature that would be large. Just one explanation. Okay, so it is because okay you may highlight in your textbook. Okay, from your textbook the explanation that would be like crowds are rare. Crowds are rare. Okay, so it means that there will be no cloud cover in the desert area. So then what would be the implication? What would be the explanation for that one? So that is okay, like the cartoon, like the figure 6 in your textbook. Okay, so that would be like this: at daytime and nighttime. For the daytime, okay, so the sun that shines on the ground, okay, shine on the ground, you can see the solar radiation. It could be very hot. It could be very hot. Just now I've mentioned there is no cloud cover. So therefore the sunshine that can reach to the surface directly to make it very hot. Okay, so like the case we have mentioned for the monsoon, that would be the heat absorption. Okay, so the heat absorption that would be very fast. And then, okay, so try from From Ho Hin, try not to make any meaningless comment here. Okay, this is not a playground for you. So that is an online lesson for the whole S2 student. So no one would like to see your meaningless comment. Okay. And for the heat absorption, so that would be very fast. Therefore, that would be hot. However, at night, as there will be no sun at night, okay, so the heat that would loss, I would say that could be like a kind of heat loss to the sky, to the sky directly. So therefore, the temperature that would drop rapidly, and it could be cold. It could be cold. On the other hand, okay, so this is like the case, okay, case one in desert, case one in desert. Okay, right now let me show you case two, case two, case two. Same date and night, but this time with cloud cover. Okay, this time with cloud cover. So at daytime, if there's sun, okay, so the cloud cover sometimes it may block part of the sunlight. So therefore, so the solar radiation that may be reflect. So the heat absorption there, okay, the heat absorption there, it could not be that fast. So therefore, it could be like wrong. I think you may experience that like during summertime. So if there's cloud cover, okay, during daytime, if it can help to block the sunlight, uh, the temperature would not be that high. Okay, the same theory. And then at night, when the land lost the heat, okay, to the sky, and the cloud cover actually it would also block the heat loss. So therefore, the heat that could be kept in this area. So therefore, it could keep this place a little bit warm. Okay. So therefore, if there's cloud cover there, so the range of temperature or daily range of temperature, it would be relatively small. But in the desert area, okay, with no cloud cover, so the daily range of temperature it would be large, okay, and that would be small. So therefore, that would be the major explanation for the cloud cover. Then the last one, okay, this one you may write it down in your textbook as this point that is not mentioned. It is not mentioned, but I think, okay, you can understand it. So why there will be no cloud cover in, or just little cloud cover in the desert? You may mark this. This is due to the air pressure. The air pressure in the desert region. Normally, it is high pressure. High pressure. For high pressure, it means that the air sinks. It means the air sinks. So therefore, cloud it could be a little bit difficult to form. Okay, so that would be the explanation. Okay, so therefore, that is about the range of temperature, and then we have to go a little bit fast. We have to go a little bit fast. Okay, so we still have two more pages to go. Okay, for after the climate, for the characteristic of rain of desert. Okay, the second characteristic that would be the surface materials. For the surface material, okay, so in desert, normally that could be like three types. Three types. So we would say it like sometimes sand, sand. So therefore, most of the case, I believe many of you know about desert that could be like the sandy desert, sandy desert. Okay, and then the second one, that is with stones. Okay, stones. Okay, stony desert or rocky desert. Okay, with rocks. So therefore, that would be the major type of materials in the desert. For example, you may look at the background area here. So this desert actually, this is found in the USA, okay, in the United States, and it is a kind of rocky surfaces, okay, rocky surfaces, and you can see some vegetation there that could be like shrubs, and okay, for there, I would say this is a very iconic slope in the desert region. In Hong Kong, you won't see any mountains, okay, with that shape. No, this only occurred in the rocky desert. Okay, so that is a very iconic shape for the slope. So therefore, this one in USA, in USA. Okay, then let's move a little bit fast. Let's move a little bit fast. Okay, then the next characteristic, vegetation. Okay, vegetation. So what would be the characteristics of vegetation in that set? Just now we will say that is just like little cover of vegetation. Okay, little cover of vegetation as in that set that could be very dried. So therefore, common one common vegetation in desert it would be the cactus. Okay, cactus 仙人掌啦，仙人掌啦. So you should know that. Okay, if I draw like a picture of cactus, okay, something like that. Okay, there could be a lot of like spikes, something like this. Okay, for the cactus, and you should know that actually, this is the leaf. Okay, of the desert. Okay, so the needle-shaped leaves. So why the leaves, okay, why the leaves of the cactus would be like this? It is because if the leaves would grow like this, okay, as like a needle. So one of the advantage for the plant that is it can help to, okay, you may mark this, it can help to minimize the process of transpiration. 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 Minimize the process of transpiration. It means that it can help to prevent the loss of moisture of the plant. Okay, so therefore, they may require less moisture, okay, or less water to grow. So therefore, cactus that would be one of the examples. And then, okay, right now you may have a look here. I have found some, okay, like different kind of cactus or different kind of vegetation in desert. Okay, like this. You can see that even for the cactus, that could be with different types. Okay, this one like hold, this one like a spear. Okay, like a spear, and that one that could be very famous, like in the Central America, like Mexico. Okay, like Mexico, like this. And then one I would like to share with you. Okay, this one I will show you the link later. That is called the Rose of Jericho. Okay, Rose of Jericho. So what would be special for that Rose of Jericho? Or some people may regard this as like the resurrection plant. Okay, so that kind of plant that is like if if some uh, uh some water could be given to this dead plant, I would say like dead plant, okay, it will become alive in a very short time as it absorbs the water quickly. Okay, so that's why people would regard this as like a resurrection plant. This one, the Rose of Jericho. So I will show you the link later. Okay, so therefore, that could be about like some vegetation in desert, and then, and then, okay, besides the vegetation, so one more part I need to mention again. Just now, I have mentioned before the oasis. Okay, oasis that occurs, that is when the water table that is relatively close to the surface. So therefore, so people can get the groundwater. Okay, so actually, the water in the oasis that would be like the groundwater. Okay, then let me show you one famous oasis in mainland China. In mainland China. Okay, we go back to the browser here. Okay, so if we go to China in the north, okay, in the province, if I remember correct, it should be in Dunhuang. Dunhuang. Okay, let's see if we can find Dunhuang. I forget. Right here, Dunhuang. Dunhuang 市啦. Okay, from this part, you can see that for Dunhuangxi, okay, so the color that is a little bit dark. Why a little bit dark? Okay, it is because most area here, okay, so that would be the farmland. Farmland. So why people could farm in that place? It is because, okay, there could be the groundwater, okay, the groundwater. That's why they can develop the farm like this. Actually, this city that is built next to the desert, and you can see here, okay, so the farm in the top, and then at the bottom here that will be the desert. Okay, let me show you one of the famous oasis, okay, or the famous scenic spot in Dunhuang. So if you go to this part, go to this scenic spot, in Chinese, that's called 鸣沙山月牙泉. So one of the famous scenic spots in Dunhuang. Okay, let's have a look. Not this one. Let's have a look. If I remember, yes, this one. Okay. So what you may see that is about like the desert. Okay, that is like about the desert. You can see the sandy desert. But if you move back right here, you can see like a pool. That could be the oasis that exists in the middle of the desert. Okay, so this place that is called Yu'achun. Yu'achun. So most water actually that come from the groundwater, and people know that this oasis actually has been exist more than thousands years. 存在咗文字記載，應該存在咗超過1000年㗎啦。Okay, but this oasis, this pool actually will disappear soon, maybe in 10 or in 20 years. Okay, this pond will disappear. Why it will disappear? It is because the scientists realized that the groundwater in Dunhuang actually that drops rapidly. So therefore, when the water table that drops rapidly, so no more supply, okay, of the water to this pool, then it may disappear. You may ask, why? Okay, so the water table will drop. It is because just now we can see that in the case in Dunhuang, okay, like this. That is a very, very rapid urban development and also industrial development. So most people they take much groundwater, okay, so for the domestic or industrial use. Therefore, the water table in this region that drops rapidly. So that would be about like the case of the oasis in Dunhuang, okay, in Dunhuang. Okay, then at the last point. Okay, so of the characteristic, for the characteristic of desert. Okay, the last characteristic that could be like sandstorm. I hope you still remember. Okay, so the sandstorm video I have shown you in the lesson, in the lesson. So therefore, for the sandstorm, I'm not going to explain right now first, okay, as we don't have much time. Just for few points, okay, like mentioned in your textbook. So why there'll be why sandstorm would be common, okay, in the desert? It is because the daily range of temperature in the desert that would be large, that would be large, and then together with the surface material, sometimes that could be like the sand or small stones, okay. So therefore, with the little vegetation cover, with the little vegetation cover, so the topsoil, okay, so you should note this, the topsoil, the topsoil, the topsoil, okay, in the place would be lift, okay, would be lift by wind easily, would be lifted by wind easily and carry away to other places. Okay, so then it lead to the sandstorm. Sandstorm. So for the video of sandstorm, for the explanation, I will I will share the same videos, okay, we use in the lesson to you later. So we're not going to watch this right now together, okay? So therefore, that would be the four characteristic of that set. Like there would be sandstorm. So the vegetation, okay, the surface material, and also the climate, okay, and also the climate. So the four characteristics, okay, so about that's it. And then, okay, so this is almost the end of this section, okay, almost the end. But before I end this section, okay, so I may also show you some extra information. Okay, just now we have watched the some example of the desert plant like this. And then let me show you, besides the plant, okay, this is not mentioned in your textbook. Actually, we can also see a lot of animals, lot of species in desert, lot of insects. Okay, let me show you some animals or insects in desert. Okay, first that would be like the insects. So actually, all these insects that would be quite common in the desert. For example, scorpions, okay, scorpion, or some beetles, some lotus, okay, and then this one that would be very special, okay. So like spider. Okay, this kind of spider, I would say that could be very large. I think this spider it could be much larger even than my hand. Okay, much larger, and they would hunt for some small mammals for food. Okay, so therefore, spiders. So and you can see even like in the desert, so the biodiversity, of course, that is low, but you can still see some species there. And then for other desert animals, okay, so one of the famous desert animals, okay, that could be like the camel, as the camel actually required less water, okay, to survive. Oh no, I won't say this. Uh, Actually, camels would be one of the species that is to store the moisture in their body well. So that's why they don't need to drink the water frequently. Okay, so that's why it would be a very good animals to travel. Okay, with in the desert, like the camels, okay? Or here you can also see some mammals like this one. I'm not sure this is a fox or cat, okay? So, but fox or cat, this one may be fox, and that one, that would be like a cat, okay? This is also some typical desert animals, okay, in this region. Here that would be about some extra information. Okay, so for the link of the video, okay, so I will add this to the description later. Okay, so therefore you may have for your reference. And then, okay, so this is almost for this section. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, okay, you can email me or even you can WhatsApp me. Okay, so to ask me some questions during this period. And one more I forget. Don't forget your workbook. Okay, don't forget your workbook. So actually, we have already finished unit 10.1. Okay, so therefore, your homework for this part that would be the workbook unit 10.1. Unit 10.1. Okay, so please do the workbook first. We're going to check the answer later. Okay, we're going to check the answer later. And then, okay, so this is almost the end of this section. Okay, I give you 1 minute. Okay, I give you 1 minute. Do you have? Again, do not, Okay, do not give some meaningless comment here. So I give you 1 minute. Okay, do you have any question to ask about this topic? Okay, so I'm going to count. I'm going to count 1 minute. Okay, so you can type the questions. You can type the questions here. Okay, so any? Why am I here whole period? I don't know. Okay. So do you have any questions to ask about this section, about this topic? Okay. Remember next time. Is there any form free stuff? Okay. Uh, don't worry, don't worry. So we're me and Mrs. Song that is trying to produce some teaching materials. Okay, so therefore even for S3 student, okay, there will be upload to the Google Classroom. Okay, so okay, if no questions this time, okay, so I'll see you later. So at last, okay, don't forget to check your Google Classroom frequently, okay, and then you will know, you will get some news, okay. So I hope I can make the live streaming be more regular, okay, regular. And yes, I hope sometimes it could be like you may be more available in the daytime. Okay, so if I have the better timetable, I will inform you through the Google Classroom. Okay, so therefore, yes, again, if you want to know more news, okay, you can subscribe my channel. Okay, and yes, pay more attention to your email and Google Classroom. Okay, so therefore, this is the end of this section. Okay, so I'll see you later. Okay, bye bye.